Jimmy? Jimbo? Shaking right now. Right now he's non-responsive. He's shaking because he's unbelievable hot fever. We've tried to bring his fever down. He has not moved at all for over 2 days. God help him. My son, my beautiful boy, going through too much suffering in his life. His hands are freezing. That means his hands are freezing. That means his fever has probably even gone up even higher. I gotta get off and try to get him to fever down. So, God bless you, son. I love you. There's myoclonic seizures, do you think?
Yes, sir.
Myoclonic seizures is a bad sign, you know, Ima. Yeah. As long as we can keep him, I don't know. It's good he has a ventilator, because if he didn't, he wouldn't be breathing, you know. He needs a lot of... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I'm an American living in Japan with my family. Your signature is now the only way to save my son's life and to bring transparency to the heinous crimes that have been committed and condoned in Japan by widespread corruption. Please share on Facebook, on Twitter. Your signature and transparency will have the police forced to move in the media to finally report these heinous crimes and allow my son to be given his human rights back in therapy. He needs your help now. My son's ribcage is collapsing into his heart and lungs, and he is running out of time. His shoulders and hips are broken and disconnected, and repeatedly and cruelly denied medical intervention. The doctors know he will clearly die, and the doctors know the police will not investigate. I need your help, please. We have evidence to believe why our son, including our family, has been character assassinated, slandered in the internet. Our human rights, international law, are egregiously violated. It is because on 2007, December 24th, I announced in a board meeting that it was my legal obligation to report the leading Riken scientists and an influential bureaucrat's husband who were involved in scientific misconduct and multiple schemes of fraud. 4 days from that announcement, my son was suffocated with a plastic bag by 2 Japanese doctors and 2 nurses. They inflicted severe traumatic brain injury on an 11-year-old American child, leaving him in a vegetative state, dependent on a life support machine to remain alive in unbelievable suffering. The day I found him in his hospital room, his body was shaking severely because he had a fever exceeding 106 degrees. His eyes were blood red and locked open. He had a red strangle mark-like around his tiny neck. He was dying, the hospital knew it, and for 20 hours before I found him, they abandoned him in his room with no therapy as his brain died. The hospital, including the doctors who did this to my son, denied any knowledge or involvement as to what happened to my son. After weeks and efforts of catching the doctors lying and contradictions, they finally confess in tape-recorded evidence that they put a plastic bag over my son's head. With this evidence given to the police and the Child Protection Agency, not only did they not help an American child, we have evidence they conspired in the cover-up with the hospital of these heinous crimes. The media will also not help. I am pleading with you to please sign, to please share on Facebook, to please share members of Congress, to get Japan to cooperate with an international investigation and allow my son his human rights and therapy to save his life. Without you, my son is going to die. This is serious. Please help. Please share. Thank you.
He's the most marvelous man in the whole universe. He's been through a very tough day. Very tough. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm complaining. What's wrong with you? You okay? Jimbo? Let me change positions. Let me...